Good morning, everyone. I'm Angie with Happy Acres Campground.
And I'm Kevin.
If you are new to this channel and you haven't been following along, we're on a hunt for a new RV for next season at our campground. So far, we've only seen one, which is the KZ Durango.
Until yesterday.
Yesterday, we hit the jackpot in Knoxville. We found a few RVs, actually, that were on our list. None of them in the wild. They were all at dealerships, so, we'll take it. But hey, look what we found.
We found a Brinkley dealer.
We're at, I already forgot, A&L RV in Sevierville?
Yep.
Yeah. What we found.
In the wild.
It's not really in the wild. It's the Brinkley 3610. It is in a jungle of RVs and cars, but it's not in the wild.
Controller in here.
Let's talk specifically about the Brinkley.
Okay.
The Brinkley that's on our list, the Brinkley Z3610.
That's the mid-bunk model.
Correct.
Wow. Looks nice right off
Oh,
the bat.
wow, yeah, it does. Wow. Oh, I like it.
Dark in here with no lights on, but
It's probably not plugged in. It's been winterized.
it's definitely very nice. My first impression is it just feels
It's super
really
nice. It's actually nicer than I was expecting. What are some of the things that you really liked about the Brinkley?
I felt like it was amazing quality as soon as you go in. It just felt like solid and everything was in its place and everything made sense. Again, it was a little bit smaller, but it didn't feel too small. It felt cozy and nice, and with the bright colors and the big windows, I thought it was really nice.
I agree. I think it felt really nice. I personally like, probably more than any of the other RVs I've seen online or in person, I just really like the styling of the interior of it.
The fit and finish was amazing. I didn't see any issues with any of the trim. Every gap was caulked and sealed, and you couldn't see any nail heads or staple heads.
Yeah. Fit and finish was definitely
Fit and finish was good.
all one level in the living room kitchen. I'm starting to feel like that's way more important than what I once thought.
I agree. I like it all on one level.
Yeah. Bench chair for the table actually is removable, and it comes out and it can be used as a coffee table.
Or an ottoman or a desk.
Or a desk, because the whole top comes up and you can sit there with your computer on it or whatever.
Look, here's that spot you were worried about most.
I
about
know.
Brinkley.
I still don't love it. I don't love it.
It absolutely does not get in the way.
Let me sit there.
Your reference.
Why couldn't
about
they
that.
just make that just like a foot shorter? You lose 8 inches in the living area
Of the mid-bunk model.
I can't explain how such a small amount of space would make such a big difference, but it does.
In its defense, it had a whole separate room in it, though, over and above kitchen, living area.
It did. It has a ton of storage. It has already a built-in desk / dresser, so it's convertible. The top slides out, has a little piece that you can put in there to create, an entire desk. Has a TV in there already.
Has a bunk bed, has a trundle bed, has a jackknife sofa.
It had the full height ceilings. The cabinetry and the storage went all the way up, so there's a ton of storage in there. We would never fill it. Well, that's a lie. I may fill it with my crafty things and art stuff, and obviously my paperwork for my office, but
Definitely plenty of which brings up another point. That mid bunk, I noticed, adds a little bit more distance between where you're watching TV in the back of a 3610 to the front bedroom. So if one person stays up a little later at night or gets up earlier in the morning, it's a long ways from the TV area to the bedroom, really, don't you think?
yeah, it definitely creates a
like
good
it adds
buffer
a
there
huge area
for sound.
So there's little things we're finding out as we walk through more of them, and I think that's one of the things that I noticed.
Yeah.
And then the dealer threw a wrench into the whole system yesterday.
He did.
They showed us a Brinkley Z3610. The living room kitchen area is big, and it's bigger than the 3610. A shorter unit with a bigger living room kitchen area than the 3610. So at a price point about $10,000 less. So then you start wondering, I mean, is it worth $10,000 more for the extra bunk room? So that's another quandary we have right now.
And in that unit, in my opinion, the bathroom and bedroom was way better than the 3610.
I agree. Yeah.
I would say that would be one thing on the 3610 that Brinkley maybe could have done a little better. The bedroom's okay, not the bedroom, but the bathroom in the 3610 is tiny. It's a tiny little bathroom. I mean, it's still high quality and it's super nice. It's cute. But
it's definitely smaller.
It's small. I mean,
so now we have to consider the 2900.
He also threw another wrench in the whole. Yeah, thanks for that. He said, well, since we own a campground, we should also consider that someday we may be done with it and want to rent it as a unit to stay in at the campground. Well, clearly it's going to be way more valuable to us if we have that mid bunk where you can sleep that extra 2 to 3 people in there.
Absolutely.
Now I'm like, well, we have to get that one.
After our conversations yesterday, I know you really like that KZ Durango, and that was one I wasn't able to see in person, so I've only seen the video and done a little research and watched some YouTube videos, but I can't understand it at the same price point why someone wouldn't choose the Brinkley. And I don't know if it's just my perception that the Brinkley is a superior built rig. I don't even know if it's true. I don't know that Brinkley's been around long enough to prove that they really are a superior built rig. I don't know.
Well, I would say that would be one reason why, because they haven't really been around very long, and maybe some people would think that they haven't proven themselves yet. So.
You want to talk about things that we didn't care for in the Brinkley? Because I have a couple.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
The first one is, it looks like they drug that whole camper through the Furrion factory. Everything on there is Furrion. And I'm not saying Furrion is bad, because in most cases I think it's really good stuff, but I don't feel like they went through and picked the best of everything in the electronics and appliances. I don't know. I think they probably got a deal with Furrion where they just use their stuff.
Like you said last night, how it makes me feel. I really liked the floor plan of that KZ. I'm struggling a little bit with the island in the 3610, and you wouldn't think 8 inches would be that big of a deal, but I can feel it. And when you lose that space, the island doesn't get any smaller. It just protrudes further out into the living area.
I wouldn't say that I felt that way. I didn't feel like it was snug in there. I felt like it was comfortable. The jackknife sofa in the bonus room has a fold down, I guess like a center console with cup holders in it, and that was broke. I don't know, maybe a bolt came out of it or something, but it wasn't operable, which again is not a huge deal for us, because we talked about if we had that unit, we would take that right out and just make some kind of a day bed or lounge bed in there anyway, just get rid of that. Mm-hmm. The only other thing I noticed was, what are they, the pleated pull down shades that are on a track that have the day and the night shades?
It's like these.
Like the ones in here that Angie's not a fan of.
I'm not a fan.
And one of them was broken. One of them was not operable. So again, probably an easy fix, but other than that, I don't really have a lot of complaints about it.
There's no traditional coat closet. However, there are some really cool hooks hanging right inside of the bonus room. So I'm assuming that's what they're considering kind of the coat closet. It didn't have the side tables that we like, which again, when we would put a queen bed in there, we would have the room to add the side tables. not a ton of counter space. It did have an amazing pantry, which was nice, and it had the pull-out trash can. You know how I like the trash can. I like the hidden pull-out trash cans, and I really liked the built-in paper towel holder in that top drawer where the trash can was. That was a great idea because paper towels are an issue in RVs. Overall, it was really an amazing unit. All right, so we're voting. We're voting.
All right.
I'm not ready to say which one I would choose over the other. I'm not ready. But I will say that I vote to keep this on the list.
Okay.
I know which way you're leaning. You've been
You
leaning
do?
that way since day one before we ever even saw a RV.
I would say that I'm definitely leaning towards the 3610 with the extra mid-bunk space, unless the price difference was large enough. I would go to the 29 because I liked each of them for different reasons.
Because office space is so important to me that I probably would not keep the 2900 on our list.
Okay.
Okay, so on to the next.
I think we're ready to move on to the next.
All right, don't just camp.
Camp happy.